Hello and welcome. We're going to cover HPE Storage PowerShell Toolkit version 4.0, and specifically I'm going to talk about dealing with certificates. So let's go ahead and start out with a PowerShell window. I've got this PowerShell environment, and here's the module. So I'm going to do an import module, and I want to choose HPE Storage. Now once I do that, I can see what commands are available to me with get command -module HPE Storage. And you can see there's very few commands that are available to me because the two I've got to care about are connect HPE Storage or HPE SAN and import HPE SAN certificate. Because if I can't communicate using a certificate, then I can't have end-to-end encryption between these two devices without ensuring that I've got no man-in-the-middle problem. So what I want to do is show you what this looks like when it runs wrong. If I do a connect to my array, and here's an array I'm going to connect to, which is an Electra 6000 as an example. When I try and make this connection, there's no certificate that I have installed that will let me do this properly. So what will happen is it will throw me an error. It'll say, hey, you got to actually trust this device. You have to have the certificate loaded in your local certificate store so that I can communicate and know that nobody has intercepted this communication in between. We don't want that man-in-the-middle problem. So to fix that, we're going to do an import module, import HPE SAN certificate and the array name, and it will pull that IP address. It'll pull that certificate directly from that IP address and install it. Now that I've actually installed the certificate, and again I can do it to another array here. So I've got a couple arrays I've just added the certificates for. Let's go ahead and try and connect to one. We're going to go ahead and connect to Pegasus. And now, when I connect, you'll see there's no errors, and I should be able to get information, like get NS volume. And there's a list of my volumes. So you can see that how this works and what it's supposed to be able to do. Now I'm going to show you what this looks like in PowerShell 5. I've showed this to you in 7.5, and I highly recommend using PowerShell 7.5. But in PowerShell 5, we're going to do the exact same process. Import module, HPE Storage, and I'm going to do that same exact command. So I'm going to try and connect. And I want to have it prompt me for the credential. And array type. So when it tries to connect, it should be able to connect. Whoop, I gave it the wrong password. Because that certificate is loaded, so it's no problem there. But again, I can run that exact same import HPE SAN certificate and I can pull that thing in all over again. So the import SAN certificate works on both PowerShell 5 and PowerShell 7.5. So you want to be able to use that. Now I'm going to show you what the most common problem we have here. I have another array out here called Red Dwarf. And that array, when I try and communicate, is going to throw me that same error, unable to resolve the certificate. So I'm going to run the import certificate command all over again, and it's going to pull the certificate in. But when I try and connect, I'm going to get another failed message. And the reason I'm going to get a failed message is because it can't resolve that. Now it's important that when you actually do this, when you actually try and make a connection, that your DNS names resolve correctly. If the DNS names don't resolve correctly, we can't we can't use the certificate properly. So if I do a ping to Red Dwarf, you can see it doesn't resolve. If I do an NS lookup to 192.168.1.60, there's no address for it. So we've got to fix our DNS problem. After we fix our DNS problem, we'll be able to connect to it in a healthy manner. So I'm going to go to my lab, I'm going to say I've got a new machine called Red Dwarf at IP address 1.60, and I want to make sure it does the reverse record as well. Once it's added that, I should be able to go back to my test machine, and this time it can resolve. And there we go. So now I should be able to run that connection command all over again. And I've connected. So you can see that being able to get these certificates to work properly. So I wanted to thank you for your time. And remember, you must import the certificate, then you can connect to the arrays. If you get an error on the array, make sure that the name of the array is both forward DNS lookupable and reverse lookupable. You've got to be able to look it up by IP address or by machine name. With that said, you should have no problems using the toolkit. This is one in a series of many videos covering the new features of this toolkit. Thank you very much.